and go whenever you're ready.
So for chapter 3 of the documentary, I decided to take a different approach. As much fun as it is recording a day in my life and doing different type of vlogs here and there, it's time to get serious. For this chapter, I'm going to focus on 3 primary fundamental things I have to deal with in my everyday life when it comes to making my return back to professional wrestling. I have to worry about getting my blood work checked regularly, eating healthy, and going to the gym. Those are 3 things I need to keep up with if I'm trying to make it back in wrestling. So as I'm talking about my experiences, I also have some footage I'm going to show as well, but I'm going to be sharing my experiences and what I deal with on a day-to-day basis with these 3 fundamental things. So let's just get started. On October 3rd, 2011, I was diagnosed with a blood disorder called ITP. It's a condition where my blood doesn't clot. So I pretty much had to get blood work pretty frequently. This restricted me from playing any sports, going to regular gym. I had to leave class 5 minutes early every day so I didn't touch heads with somebody in the hallway, so I didn't have any contact with people. It was rough. It all started when one night I was just wrestling with my younger brothers and I got like this rash type of thing on my neck. And we didn't know what it was, we just ignored it, you know. And then a couple days later, I got one again on my knee, and we had no idea where these little rashes were coming from. I ended up playing it safe, I got blood work, and thank God I did. On October 3rd, I was sitting in a parking lot when my mom got the call. It was my doctor, and the doctor said to my mom, "Are you Ryan's mother?" And she said, "Yes, I am. Why?" She goes, "Is Ryan next to you?" She goes, "Yeah, why? We're actually, getting ready to get out of the car now. We're in a parking lot, ready to get out of the car. Why? What's up?" And he said, "You need to take Ryan to the hospital immediately. He needs to get rushed to the emergency room within the next hour or he might die." Definitely not the words my mom was expecting and wanting to hear about her son. So we immediately drove to the hospital. I got hooked up, I got checked out, and the hospital had no idea what was wrong with me. They knew my blood levels were low, my platelets were low, but they had no idea what the condition was called. So they ended up putting me on a stretcher. I got on a stretcher in the back of an ambulance and sent to Philadelphia to get diagnosed correctly. I'll never forget when I was in the back of the ambulance and my mom was freaking out. She was hyperventilating so bad to the point that when we finally reached the hospital, my mom had to get hooked up in the room next to me because she was having an anxiety attack. Because I'm sitting there in the hospital bed with no clothes on, hooked up, and they're taking care of my mom in the room next door. They ended up telling me I have a deficiency of my platelets. They ended up telling me I have ITP. That changed my life forever. I had to quit baseball. I had to quit going to regular gym. My life was changing forever. There is no exact reason why people get ITP, but since I got it at such an older age, I'm pretty much stuck with it for life. Whereas if I got it as a kid, I could probably outgrow it, but I have it for the rest of my life. It is what it is. Through the next couple months, I had to miss school every single Friday, so I had to get 8-hour blood transfusions, like 40 minutes away. I had to get hooked up to a blood transfusion, and I would sit there for 8 hours. The good part is, the only happy memory I have was what they used to give me a PS2. They made me pick out PS2 games, and I would play my favorite PS2 game, and then they would just knock me out with some medication, and I'd be out for the rest of the 8 hours. That happened every single Friday. So that caused me to miss school, miss important events. Nothing worked. Literally nothing worked, to the point that they were like, "You know what? Let's put you on steroids and see what happens." And that was like the worst thing imaginable for me. My face blew up like a tick. It was like out to here. I had moon face. I was covered in acne. I was breaking out in acne before everybody else in my grade, so I looked disgusting. And the worst part of it all is the steroids didn't even work. My blood, my numbers, my platelet count did not go up. So it was all for nothing, more or less. At that point, they were like, "You're not receptive to any medication, all the blood transfusions, the steroids, nothing's working." So they assumed I might have cancer. I might have leukemia. And I had to get a bone marrow biopsy where a needle gets shoved in my spinal cord and taking some of the spinal fluid out to test if I have leukemia. Thank God I tested negative. I did not have leukemia. And I dealt with ITP for years and years and years, and my dream of being a professional wrestler was slowly diminishing. I realized there's probably no chance I can make it in wrestling. It is what it is. I wasn't even mad at that point. I had to accept it. Nothing I could do about it. I had to accept the fact I might never live my dream. My doctor ended up prescribing me a certain medication. It's actually called it's Promacta. And this medication, I think, saved my life. This medication, for whatever reason, I don't really know, but for whatever reason, I was very receptive to medication. And I ended up, my platelet count ended up skyrocketing. It was crazy. My doctor was confused. How did my platelet count go so high up? And after months of progress and after months of continuously looking through my numbers and checking to make sure I'm okay, the doctor said, if this keeps up, you might be able to wrestle. And of course, I'm like, this is awesome. It's the best news ever. Months and months went by and my numbers stayed stagnant. They stayed consistent. I was doing good. So they told me, they gave me the okay. My doctor said, you know what? I think you can wrestle. As long as you stay safe, you can do this. So that takes me to today. So every other day, I have to take this pill called Promacta, and that pretty much means I cannot eat or drink any dairy products 2 hours before and 2 hours after I take the pill. This requires me getting frequent blood work. I have to make sure my numbers are good, because if my numbers get low, my platelets drop, I can't wrestle anymore, because if I just get flicked too hard, these little rashes, they're called petechiae, they're broken blood vessels, they start appearing all over my skin, and that's how I know I'm not doing good. Like, I've had matches before, after matches where I got beat up pretty bad, I'd have these broken blood vessels all through my arms. I'm like, time to get blood work, something's not right. So every so often, every couple months, I have to go to my local hospital and get blood work done. It's kind of a pain, but I'm just thankful it's something as minute as ITP, as I discussed in the first chapter. I'm thankful. It could have been a lot worse. I could have had leukemia. I don't take anything for granted, so I'm very fortunate that it's something not as severe as cancer. So now I'm trying to make it back into wrestling. I figured it'd be a good time to go visit my local hospital and go get blood work done, just to make sure everything's in good shape. When it comes to eating healthy, I'm not the biggest fan. I'll be straight up and honest. I do not eat the healthiest. It's not my favorite thing to do. I don't go to restaurants and I immediately gravitate to the healthy portion of the menu. I'm a fat kid inside. There's no way around it. I love my cakes, I love my chocolates, the brownies, ice cream, all the dairy products. I can't get enough of it. I remember when I used to wrestle at OTW, the guys used to go out frequently to Muscle Maker Grill, and I was like, I don't want to go there. I know the stigma is it's healthy, and I have, take me to Chipotle. I'll eat Chipotle. I'd rather eat that than eat Muscle Maker Grill. It wasn't until this past summer where I actually got employed by Muscle Maker Grill, and I was able to get an employee meal. So I ended up experimenting here and there, trying different things, and like after a while, I'm like, I actually really enjoy this food. Like, it's actually really good, and it's healthy for me. So now I'm getting back into wrestling. I've been eating a lot more Muscle Maker. The more I talk Muscle Maker, the hungrier I'm becoming. We should probably get a Muscle Maker after this. I'm really craving a signature wrap. So when I was wrestling at OTW, I was actually working for McDonald's. It was the worst job ever. I mean, nothing against people that work at McDonald's, but I'm talking at my specific location. It was nothing but drama and just awful, awful work experience with awful managers and clientele. I can go on forever about that. But while working at McDonald's, I had no other choice but to snack on a McNugget here and there. I ended up eating a lot of unhealthy food, and it made me feel like crap. Like, I didn't feel good inside. I would eat McDonald's, and then I would go to training some nights, and I just didn't feel good. I mean, no shock there. Like, I didn't feel good after putting crap in my body. I didn't perform as well as I could have. So now that I'm getting back into wrestling, I'm looking to eat a lot healthier. I've been eating a lot more Muscle Maker. I've been eating a lot healthier, going to the gym, doing the right things, taking care of my body so I can perform to the best of my ability. Now it's time to talk about the one place every wrestler insists I go visit, the gym. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out I'm not the biggest guy in the world. My arms aren't the biggest. My legs aren't the biggest. I'm not the strongest guy in the world. When it comes to the gym, I have a love-hate relationship. Don't get me wrong. I don't like physically going to the gym, like leaving my house and going to the gym and devoting time, because I'm a student, I work. I'm not making excuses, but it is what it is. I'm doing this YouTube series now, so I can't devote as much time as I want to the gym. The simple answer is, oh, wake up early, go later. I know that's the simple answer, but I also suffer from an iron deficiency, so I'm consistently tired. I need to get my 10 hours of sleep. But when I'm at the gym, I actually really enjoy it. It's a very good place to go to release some energy, release some demons. It's a good place to go to just let loose and work out. While wrestling for OTW, I went to the gym a little bit. I didn't go to the gym nearly as much as I should have, but I went to the gym here and there. I goofed off. I didn't take it as seriously, but that's just a common theme I'm kind of realizing with my time at OTW. I didn't have the most professional gear. I didn't have the most professional name, the most professional look to me. I wasn't professional. I didn't look the way I wanted to be presented. I looked like a child because that's exactly what I was. I ate like a child. I went to the gym and I worked out like a child. Now that I'm now 21 years old, I want to take myself more seriously, so I've been going to the gym a lot more. I know you can't probably tell because I'm still skinny, but trust me, I've been working hard in the gym, trying to get my cardio up, trying to get some type of muscle definition. That's the problem though, I don't really know exactly what I'm doing in the gym, so it's someplace I don't feel comfortable going. I don't go there as an escape because I don't really know what I'm doing yet, and I don't want to go to the gym and look like a fool because I don't know what I'm doing. Thankfully, my brother is really big into the gym, so I've been going to the gym with him, I've been working out with him, and he's been pushing me my limits, he's been pushing me to do my best, and that I appreciate. So recently when I go to the gym, I have been doing 2.5 miles on the treadmill, I do a little bit of the Stairmaster, and then I do my workout. I'm not expecting for my return match for me to be some jacked monster. I know that's not realistic, but I just want some type of definition so I don't look like a complete joke in the ring. I know setting these expectations are pretty far-fetched, but why I go to the gym is because I want to become more active. I haven't done anything active really for the past 8 months since I stopped wrestling. So going to the gym, running and lifting and working out is getting me more active. So that will conclude this chapter of the documentary. I hope you guys appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it and watching it. I focus on 3 fundamental key concepts in my return to wrestling. I'm trying to take that next step. It's time to start getting the ball moving because before you know it, that match is right around the corner. And I want to be the best Ryan Radix that I can be. That brings me to my next point. So for the next video, I will be going to an actual professional wrestling ring for an actual professional wrestling company and training. Stay tuned.